Hi, I'm Liron Cohen.
And I'm Mimi Torchin.
And you're listening to Lady Parts TV, the podcast.
Whee!
Hello, everybody. Hi, Mimi.
Hi, Liron.
Thank you for joining me on this lovely podcast day.
Well, thank you for joining me on this lovely podcast day.
Thank you all for joining us on this lovely podcast day. Our stats for today, we tallied 20 primetime shows, out of which written or co-written by a woman, 10, 50%.
Excellent.
And directed by a woman, 6, which is 30%.
Not the worst.
We are inundated with shows, old shows, new shows, returning shows. We just don't know how to. Our DVR is exploding. So we hope you're enjoying yourselves.
Yes, I hope so.
And we're going to start today with a giveaway, which is one of our favorite things.
Absolutely.
And this particular movie stars two lovely ladies, Emma Thompson and Emma Stone, starring in Cruella.
Not only lovely, highly talented.
I
Adorable.
can focus on Emma Thompson. I love Emma Stone, but she hasn't risen yet to that level.
I mean, she hasn't gotten old enough.
Well, that too. Her body of work hasn't gotten old enough too. Anyway, Cruella, as you may know, is all about the early days of Cruella de Vil, and starring two fabulous women, so I don't think you can go wrong. And we're giving
and it's free.
Exactly. We're giving you 5 digital screeners to the first 5 people who either send us a private message on social media, or who send us an email and say, we want it, and you'll get it. So go for it. And Cruella is available with all sorts of behind-the-scenes featurettes and bloopers and deleted scenes on digital and on Blu-ray and DVD and all that. So
Ultra HD.
Ultra HD, yes.
4K Ultra HD.
So check it out. And again, the first 5 who tell us will get to check it out for free. Now, we are going to review a movie for you that is available right now in theaters, on demand, and on digital. Actually, it came out today, so you can watch it right now. Directed and written by Elle Callahan, and starring. Let me start by
That's L as in ELLE.
Yes. Let me start with my personal point of major attraction, Elizabeth Mitchell.
Yes, and she has a very large part.
Very large part, and I loved her in it. Well, I love her in everything she does. But she does have a very large part in it, and her daughter in the movie is played by Gideon Adlon, who is Pamela Adlon's daughter.
And she reminds me of her so much.
Not even just...
She's little and compact, and
but
she's
her
got
attitude,
spunk. Oh, yeah,
her attitude is so much like her mother's, and she's quite a good actress.
Yes.
Also Abigail Cohen and Christian Camargo, and normally this wouldn't be my thing, but it was, so that says a lot about this movie. This is modern day America, but witches do exist, not just in the hypothetical metaphorical sense, but they actually do some magic and witchcraft and stuff in this. Right? Yes, not in real life, not that we know of anyway.
I mean, I think there are witches, but
well, not like that, or maybe we don't know. Who knows? If you are a witch, let us know. Anyway, and Elizabeth Mitchell and Gideon Adlon, they play a mother and daughter who they have a family, and they help save witches who are being persecuted by the government, of course, in the U.S.
Smuggle them
to Mexico for shelter.
They're like part of the Underground Railroad.
Exactly. And
for witches.
And things can get complicated, as things do. But I thought at first when they said, I read the synopsis, I thought that the idea of the witches would be, oh, so you mean women who seek abortion or something like that. I thought it was more of like a metaphorical witch. The movie went, into a little bit of a metaphysical, supernatural stuff, which is usually really not my thing. But I really enjoyed this film.
It was really good, and it is also
a metaphor. It's also a metaphor, of course. The ending was a little bit of a letdown, tiny bit, not much, tiny bit, just because the movie built up into something that I see what they were trying to say. I just didn't necessarily agree with that statement. But I really, really enjoyed it. And unfortunately, it is a relevant story. And Elizabeth Mitchell.
And Elizabeth Mitchell. This is another one of those movies that I can't imagine someone schlepping themselves in the middle of a
No, but it's perfect
pandemic,
for digital.
But it's great for digital. It's
Yes.
a small film. It works terrifically, and I think it's a really good film. I think if you're
It had a lot
interested
to
in the
say.
subject matter,
Well, unfortunately, it's very relevant,
yes.
especially now with all of the abortion. And I can see women being smuggled to Mexico because Mexico, very smart people, just approved abortion.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have abortion tourism.
absolutely, they're going to have clinics and
So, yes, I don't even know that when they made this film, they even realized just how relevant it would be when it came out. Anyway, Witch Hunt is available everywhere now, so check it out. Okay, another movie that we're going to review for you is called The Nowhere Inn. It is also available in theaters and to rent online. And it was produced, written, and starring Carrie Brownstein and Annie Clark, who is also known as Saint Vincent, who is a musician. And
she's a singer.
Yes, this is a. They both created this, and it's kind of meta.
Yeah.
The story is about a filmmaker who wants to do a documentary about her friend Saint Vincent, about her life behind the scenes and backstage, and the things get kind of bizarre and zany and wacko and crazy.
Well, don't forget Carrie Brownstein
is the filmmaker.
And Portlandia.
Yes, that's right. And she's quite very talented.
Very.
And this, it starts off, when it starts off, you think you know kind of where it's going or what it wants to say. Unfortunately, I don't know that the film knew what it wanted to say.
Exactly.
Because the whole point of it was to show what it's like to be a rock star on stage and off stage, and what it's like to make a film that's supposed to tell the truth, but you still need it to be dramatic and you need it to be exciting, and then the friendship between them. There's a little bit of lesbianism in there as well, very little.
I thought you said a load, and I really say there's not.
Lesbianism.
A little bit.
A little bit. And so again, you kind of think you know where it's going, and I liked what I thought, where I thought it was going, but then it completely went off the rails, lost the plot, literally.
Really
literally.
By the way, Dakota
Johnson
is in it also.
Right. And I was left kind of thinking, what the fuck? Okay. I mean, a waste, I think.
Yeah, it was original, but if it goes nowhere, if it goes off the rails,
completely off the rails.
Yeah.
I mean,
I had no idea what was going on.
No, and at first it was very easy to follow because even though it was kind of surreal a little bit at times or heightened reality, it still was rooted in reality and was interesting, and I always
and
kind
I loved
of
them.
Sweet-natured,
Yeah.
yes. But at some point it just kind of became, I don't know.
Which sadly happens with movies of this kind.
Yeah. So I don't really know that I can recommend it, but it started off interesting.
Yeah.
So The Nowhere Inn is available in theaters and for rent. And now, Mimi.
Yes. Now, this is it's a TV series called Departure, and we missed the first season, and I don't know why we did, because it stars Archie Punjabi, who we absolutely adore.
I think we didn't know where to find it at the time. Now it's available on both on Apple TV Plus and on Peacock.
There are 2 seasons out right now, and a third one in the works. It's about Kendra O'Malley, which...
Kendra Malley.
Oh, Kendra Malley. I was going to say O'Malley is...
No.
Her last
Kendra
name,
Malley.
Yeah. Archie Punjabi. And she's a TS... Anyway, she's a transportation investigator. Christopher Plummer is like her mentor. And
his final role.
Yes, his final role. And... the first season is fantastic. It's about an airplane that disappears over the Atlantic.
But it's not supernatural.
It's not supernatural
Thank
at all.
goodness.
It's not manifest.
Yeah.
It's very high-powered, very fast, very fascinating, it just zooms along.
We watched the 6 episodes in less than 12 hours.
Yeah, we really, really loved it. And we're very thrilled to start the second season, which, as a guest star in almost every episode, Wendy Crewson, our beloved, the divine Wendy Crewson. Unfortunately, the second season was a bit of a letdown.
It was still fine.
It was still fun and good and interesting, but it took place in America.
Already a letdown.
Already it's a little, and it just it kind of lost its edge.
Yeah, it was spread out too much.
It became a little soap opera-ish and political.
A little formula.
And formulaic, exactly. But
still good.
Still good. Wendy Crewson.
Yep. And we'll see what happens in the third season.
Yep. So I really recommend it. It's called Departure, The Divine Archie Punjabi. See if you can catch your homage to Kalinda early on in the first episode. It's on Peacock and Apple TV Plus, and
check it out.
Check it out.
Okay, we saved the best for last. Two things. One is a new movie that's available on Amazon Prime, Amazon Video Prime now. It's called Everybody's Talking About Jamie. And it's starring Max Harwood, Lauren Patel, Sharon Horgan, Richard E. Grant, Shobna Gulati, and Sarah Lancashire. And this is a movie that's based on a musical, a British musical, about a teenager from Sheffield, England, who wants to be a drag queen. We have kind of our critique is separated into two things. The first is two parts. The first part is the actual movie, which the movie was darling.
It was very sweet.
Very sweet, very good, kind, good-natured, and very much of its kind. Mm-hmm. It didn't offer surprises. Yeah, it didn't offer anything new really, but it did. It was kind of like the British gay version of The Prom. I mean, the gay boy. I mean, not gay girl. It was. I was going to say The Prom was pretty gay. Yeah, no, I'm a lesbian. It didn't. The music, as far as we were concerned, was mostly redundant. Mm-hmm. We could have had it without the music because the music itself contributed very little. It was uninspiring. It wasn't even gay enough. There were only a couple of numbers that I actually really enjoyed. So,
did you mention Richard E. Grant?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But the movie itself was darling.
Yes.
Now,
but there was a surprise.
First of all, we were just, I don't know if you watched it. We just had an interview with Louisa on Instagram where we talked. One of the things that we mentioned was one of the best scenes between a mother and a gay child on Kissing Jessica Stein.
Between Tova Feldscher and Jennifer Westfeldt. Just one of my favorite all-time scenes in any movie.
Absolutely. Well, this movie, the heart of the movie and the thing that was the most important thing about the movie, which by the way is based on a real story.
Yes, and you will see them at the end.
Right. Is this kid, this gay, very flamboyant gay child who wants to be a drag queen, and his mother, who's played by Sarah Lancashire, and his mother is the most supportive, like a fairy godmother that any gay kid could ever dream of to have a mother.
If you invented your own mother as a gay teen boy who wants to be a drag queen, it would have come out as Sarah Lancashire in this movie.
And not only was she wonderful and was the relationship between them so heartwarming and beautiful, but when people started singing along the way, I thought, okay, well, Richard E. Grant can't sing to save his life.
He was a little better than Pierce Brosnan in
tiny Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, but just a little bit
tiny
better.
Step above.
So we said, oh no.
They're going to get to Sarah Lancashire and all of our world will collapse. Guess what? The woman can sing! Oh my God, what a surprise.
Turns out she starred in 4 musicals. She's got it starts off very sweet, but she's got a beautiful singing voice.
Oh,
and my God.
And of course, somebody like her infuses her acting and her heart in her music, and it just. If I I could never have imagined being able to love her even more. But guess what? I
We
love her
do.
even more.
I mean, I hate to ruin the surprise for you, but the fact that she can sing was the high point for us.
Yes, I was so
And
worried.
her number also,
Both numbers.
Both numbers were my favorite numbers in the show.
Exactly. Oh, it's just delightful.
It's a very feel good movie.
Yes.
And
Sarah Lancashire,
Sarah Lancashire,
who can do no wrong, apparently can even sing. So everybody's talking about Jamie. Is a sweet movie altogether, but it's really worth your time just to enjoy another aspect and facet of the wonderful Sarah Lancashire.
And if by some tiny chance you don't know Sarah Lancashire,
Oh, well, sit down and
sit down.
let us
Exactly.
tell you some things.
And then you'll go back and you'll watch Last Tango in Halifax and
Happy
Happy Valley and
everything
any number
else. And
of wonderful shows that programs she's been in.
And she's currently working on playing Julia Child,
right.
which is going to be very exciting.
Oh, she'll be perfect.
I know. I can't wait. So, everybody's talking about Jamie is available on Amazon Video. Watch it. Now, we're going to talk about a show that we actually started watching and kind of stopped in halfway into the first episode because it was too painful. And then thank you, Judy, who wrote to me and said, you must watch this. And we went back to it, and boy, did we go back to it.
It's Impeachment, American Crime Story, Impeachment on FX on Tuesdays, and it's the story of Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and Linda Tripp.
Tripp.
I almost didn't want to watch it because it was so painful to live through. I am a huge Bill Clinton lover.
So apparently he has many of those.
Yes, exactly. Even while it was happening, I knew that I was angry with him. I just would constantly be screaming, keep it in your pants. Why can't you keep it in your pants? You're a great man. You're going to be a great president. And your legacy is going to be that damn blue dress and Monica Lewinsky.
Well, but it's more than just philandering. It's abuse of power. It's sexual assault.
Of course, but it crystallized.
Yeah.
In the Monica Lewinsky story. It's starring
just the cast alone.
Sarah Paulson as Linda Tripp, and you will not believe your eyes what a makeover they have done on her physically. And then she imbues her with a completely different energy, a completely different persona than she's ever portrayed before. Sarah Paulson is such a magnificent actress.
I have said this before, and now I'm really saying this, like putting my foot down. Sarah Paulson is the Meryl Streep of TV.
I don't know that I quite agree with you, but I'm getting close.
She is
I'm getting close.
A brilliant actress whose choices are so subtle, you sometimes don't even notice them, but she blows my mind.
Yes,
every role is different. She completely disappears into it.
She is a virtuoso. She really is.
And she's had quite a few opportunities to show what she can do because Ryan Murphy has
Especially
given her...
thanks to Ryan Murphy.
Yes, he's given her such
huge
a range.
Mm-hmm.
And she's taken every one of these things and I'm sure surpassed every expectation or dream or hope he has had. I'm in love with her.
She must be his muse, and because it does almost feel like this is built around her.
It is, and I think
it's
that this
as much
is
her story. It's
almost more her story yeah.
than Monica and Bill.
Well, because we just read an interview with Sarah Paulson. She said, Monica Lewinsky, her documentation is out there. She's written a book. People have talked to her. She's out there. Linda had a story that not everybody knew, and she wanted to kind of tell that story.
Yeah, especially because everybody hated her.
Well, yes, and I don't know that people are going to change their minds after watching this.
Absolutely not. Also, Beanie Feldstein, who plays Monica Lewinsky, an idea that horrified me, but she manages to do a good job as Monica. I don't like Monica very much in this, but Beanie does a good job. I didn't see her in the role, but I see it a little better now.
Well, I'll tell you who I don't see in the role, and she's going to have more to do probably later on in the season. No. Edie Falco as Hillary.
No.
It just doesn't work for me. And when she starts doing more later, maybe she'll convince me otherwise.
We just have gotten little glimpses here and there, a line here and there, but
she just doesn't have
her
energy
at all. Uh-huh. Annalee Ashford, on the other hand, as Paula Jones, is Paula Jones. She is such a fine actress.
We've always loved her.
And I think the fact that she's so funny, and has that voice, kind of makes you not take her as seriously as you might want to. This is just a truly on point, wonderful performance, and I kind of like Paula now. She makes her vulnerable and sweet, and she's really, really wonderful. Margot Martindale in another Margot Martindale type role, always wonderful, doesn't matter what she does. And as El Presidente, Clive Owen, who also, when I heard, I went, oh, this is wrong, but he does a very good job.
And again, the prosthetics and all work.
Yep, they help. And Kobe Smulders is a perfect on point.
I don't know if you can say perfect
Coulter.
and Ann Coulter in the same phrase.
Well, perfectly bitchy, horrible, monstrous Ann Coulter. And she's really, really good.
Yes, she is.
I am very happy to see it because I love her. I loved her in, what was that show called that took place in...
Stumptown.
Stumptown. I loved her in spite of the name of the show, which I can never remember. Anyway, it is so hard to watch, but it's so you just are wrapped.
Yeah.
You're sucked into the story, and those of us who lived through it, it's already horrifying from the beginning. But I can't even imagine what it's going to be like reliving Ken Starr and the impeachment and what he went through, what Hillary went through, what we went through, loving him. But I have to say, I like Clive Owen because he doesn't make Bill quite as attractive as he was in his essence. Mm-hmm. You can see the charm, but it doesn't work as well through Owen as it did on the real guy. And since you shouldn't still love him so much, that works. It works for the production.
Well, I'll tell you what has been helping me, because when we started this, and I wasn't here when all this happened, and I was very young, even in Israel, so, we only got headlines, and I was very young, so to me, a lot of this is new. But when we started watching it, I was the one who said, I can't continue after the first half episode, because I thought, I don't want to know this stuff. I really don't want to know this stuff. But what the show has been able to do for me is, because it's such a master class in filmmaking, in acting, in writing, I am so wrapped in the artistry and the brilliance of it that, yes, I know it's real, and every now and then I have to stop and say, can you believe this shit, or something like that. But I'm still so enjoying the actual art of it that it takes me, it carries me through it.
It's I can't believe the person who makes American Horror Story can make these fantastic American crime stories
And many other fantastic things. The Normal Heart.
So many things.
Pose.
And actually, I liked one or two early American Horror Stories, but
he's very versatile.
he is amazing.
He is.
And this is really superb television.
Yes.
Absolutely superb television. The writing is excellent.
The acting is mind-blowing.
The acting is mind-blowing. That's really what carries the day, are the performances.
Sarah fucking Paulson.
Yeah. Really and truly, this is, if it's not Emmy winning, it better be nominated.
It's going to be Lady Parts TV winning, I'll tell you that.
No, you don't want to. We don't know that. There are many things that we start to watch where our minds are surprisingly blown away.
True. But Sarah Paulson, I think, is pretty much going to have, it's going to be hard to beat.
It's really an amazing performance. It's it is a stunning performance, and the whole show is
stunning.
And if you lived through it, it's cringeworthy also.
Why do men have to ruin everything?
Well, it seems to be their biological imperative.
Well, that it shouldn't be.
Just to.
I think that's an easy. It's easy for them to get away with that answer. I don't
just
buy
that it happens so often
because they've had eons of time to get away with it and be empowered by it. So we'll leave you with that.
Yes.
And we'll wish you a wonderful
American
week.
Crime Story, Impeachment
on
Tuesdays
FX.
on FX.
Have a wonderful week.
Yes,
Take good
happy
care
fall.
of yourselves. Watch Talking Teal on Sunday, and we will talk to you soon again, very, very soon.
Adios.
Bye.